You might like to sit up tall, or you might like to sit supported with something like behind your low back. Either is great. Maybe this is a really exhausted day and you want to lay down. That's totally fine too. We'll start with just some very, very gentle movements. I suggest we just start with some shoulder rolls, either one by one or two together. And you can kind of decide if you want to go forward first or backward first. Maybe make it into kind of a little dance, like a little swimming motion. And these can be super extra slow and small, where they can be bigger and faster. You decide what feels good in your body today. But so often we spend time hunched forward if we're typing or if we're driving or if we're carrying something. And so really giving the chest a chance to open up, giving the shoulders a chance to drop, giving yourself a chance to come into a little bit of extension with the spine, maybe looking up and looking down. And just being very intuitive. What does your body want today? How would it feel good to move, even if that's not, an official pose, or if it's a little bit wonky looking, or it's, a little bit flailing. It's all good. We're just asking the body, how do you feel today? And giving yourself permission to move in that way. So maybe some circles would feel good. Give your body that. And again, these can be really slow, small, gentle. Or maybe your body is asking for something bigger and bolder and faster. But try not to let the ego get in the way, and try not to let your expectation of what you think you might like cloud the judgment of really tuning in and asking your body what would feel good, what would feel supportive, what would feel nice in your back, in your hips, in your neck. And then slowly coming back into your nice tall seat. And if there are any other movements that would feel good, extending the legs perhaps, or twisting from one side to the next, that might feel nice. Just ask yourself if there's some other movement that would feel great in your body before we settle, because sometimes I think it's nice to get out the kinks and to move and stretch and feel loose and free and ready for stillness, because there's nothing worse than feeling like we have to be still against the will of what the muscles actually want to do. So if during our breathing and meditating you do find that you need to reposition, or that you want to make some mindful movements, that's fine. Yes, we want to be still when we meditate, but not at the cost of discomfort or pain or agitation in the mind or the body. So coming into some stillness with all of that in mind, feel free to close your eyes if that feels good, or feel free to lower your gaze, kind of make your eyes go fuzzy so that you can focus on what's going on inside, rooting yourself down, maybe tucking the chin a little bit so that the skull is over the neck, is over the spine, giving yourself a nice sturdy base with the hips rooting down, the spine stacked. Some ease here, let the shoulders drop. Find some ease here, let the hands, palms face up or down. Rest lightly, gently, easefully. And then we'll just notice the breath. Often when we notice the breath, it deepens and changes automatically, but you don't have to change it. We're just seeing, where does the breath lie today? Is it in the chest? Can you feel the chest rising? Can you feel the chest falling on the exhale? Is it more comfortable to breathe through your nose or through your mouth today? Can you feel the air coming up the throat through the nasal passages? And then can you invite the breath into the belly? Again, these don't have to be super deep or super big breaths, but just can you feel the belly rise on the inhale? Can you feel the belly sink on the exhale? And then can you invite the breath even deeper into the low belly? Maybe lengthening the inhale by a little bit, and perhaps lengthening the exhale even longer than the inhale, even just by a second or two. And finally, can you pay some attention to your back body? Can you breathe into your kidneys, into your back ribs, into this 360-degree space all around your body, front, side, back, feeling yourself expand on the inhale and contract slightly on the exhale. If you have an intention to set today, something you'd like to cultivate more of into your life, now's a great time to send it out to the universe. I am calm. I am present. I am kind to myself. Or anything else, the first thing that comes to mind is usually the right thing. And then I'll invite you to retain the breath for a few seconds, taking a long, slow, deep breath in and putting a little retention at the top, a second or two. And then exhaling slowly through pursed lips, letting the tension melt away as you soften the muscles. And we'll keep breathing like this a few more rounds, inhaling long, slow, deep. And exhaling through pursed lips as we let go. Each time you can even say to yourself, I'm letting go. We'll do one more like that, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just letting the breath breathe you, however feels natural, whatever feels normal. In and out, gently, no need to force it. And we'll bring the attention to the crown of the head. You might sense a feeling of warmth or softness, or maybe it's easy for you to visualize a light or presence and energy. Whatever it is, we're going to put that attention right at the crown of the head. And let it relax and melt down your face as this warmth, this softness, this relaxation feeling melts down the scalp, relaxes the muscles in the forehead and the temples. And then into the eyes. There's so many little muscles that help us move our eyes, and we can relax them, letting the eyes sink into the back of their sockets. Relaxing the eyelids and letting everything just be easy, calm. Down into your jaw, into the tongue, letting it slip away from the roof of the mouth, letting the teeth separate slightly. Letting go of the tension in your neck. With every inhale, let the relaxation become deeper and warmer, letting it go into the muscles from the neck into the shoulders, soothing them, releasing them. And if you find a spot that still feels constricted or tense, feel free to breathe particularly into that spot. If you feel a place that has a little bit of discomfort or pain, breathe into it. And perhaps we won't find 100% comfort and ease, but we can usually find a 1% improvement. We can usually take the edge off a little bit by sending our breath into those areas. Letting this relaxation come into the arms from the shoulders down, the upper arms into the elbows, and then down all the way to the wrists and the fingers. Sometimes the hands hold tension and we don't even notice, so letting the fingers be loose. Letting the body soften. And as the body softens, let the thoughts become lighter, become less concrete and more ethereal. Let them come in and out. If you're having a lot of busy thoughts, that's okay. The mind thinks. This is what minds do. And we can let the mind turn away in the background and do all of its busy thinking. We don't have to attach to those thoughts. And if a thought comes in, we can say, oh, thank you, brain. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will think about that later, and just let it go. Sometimes there's a misconception that we need to clear the mind in order to meditate, or we need to have no thoughts in order to be successful, and that's simply not true. The meditation is noticing the thoughts in the background, but not clinging to them. It's noticing that they're there, but not following them down the rabbit hole, not ruminating, and instead being equanimous. I am in this present moment. I'm observing my breath. I'm observing my body. I'm coming back again and again and again. Bring your awareness to your chest. Maybe you again can feel that rise and fall of the breath. And then bringing the sensation into the belly. Again, the rise of the belly on the inhale and the sinking of the belly on the exhale. Let this be really easy, really peaceful. Let it soothe your muscles that are in your torso, that are all around your internal organs. We don't even usually think about these, but there's lots of movement happening in our body, even when we're very still. Let the mind relax. Feel free to drift off into a dreamlike state as you find this stillness. And then once again, we'll bring the attention to the back body, to the upper back, separating the shoulder blades, even imperceptibly, just thinking about expanding that upper back, breathing into the upper back. And let the softening sensation flow down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down from the neck to the tailbone. And then let every muscle in your back let go, unwind, visualizing that however makes sense to you, so that your whole upper back, your body has become loose, limp, it's soft. And then sink into this serene sensation like you're in a cloud or a pile of feathers, something that is cushy and light, easy. And then we'll let this sensation drift into the lower body as well. Let your hips soften. Let this peaceful feeling work its way to the muscles in your buttocks and the back of the thighs. And then into the quads and the front. Let them be really gentle, easy. Feel these are some of the largest, strongest muscles in the whole body, but they don't have to do any work right now. They can relax. They can become softer with each passing moment. And let this feeling come down through the knees and into the calves, down into the ankles. And then whatever your feet are resting on, let it be a gentle rest, an easy rest. That feeling of lightness, of airiness. If there's any tension left in your body, visualize it coming out your toes and going down into the earth. And then feel this deep state of calmness. And remember it in your mind so that later on today, tomorrow, when things might feel busy or tense or difficult, you can say, but I have the power to relax a little bit. I can follow my breath. I can let the tension melt away. Take a deep breath from the toes up into your heart center. And then exhale slowly from the heart back down to the toes. We'll do 2 more like that, inhaling from the toes to the heart. And a slow exhale from the heart down to the toes. 1 more in your own time. And then come back right into that heart center, breathing into the heart, feeling the heartbeat perhaps, or visualizing the heartbeat. And bringing to mind someone who is important to you, someone who you would like to share a little bit of this relaxation with and send it out in the universe to wherever they are. And then inhaling from the heart back up to the crown of the head. And then exhaling from the crown to the heart center. And taking a few more long, slow, deep breaths like that. Coming back to the heart space and coming back to the sankalpa or the intention you set at the beginning of our time together, if you set one. We'll just recite that 3 times to ourselves. Perhaps use something as simple as I am calm, I am in the present moment, I am kind to myself. And then bringing the attention to the earth beneath you. Where does your body touch your seat or the floor, whatever you're sitting on? And just observe, how does that feel? Are you equally balanced left and right? It's okay if you're not, it's just something to notice. Does it feel like gravity is pulling on you with quite a lot of force? Or do you feel lifted? Do you feel light? And can you feel a tiny bit lighter? And one more time, we'll come back to the breath. In and out through the nose where you can. And we'll end with a 4-7-8 breath. This breath is an inhale for a count of 4, a hold at the top for a count of 7, and a long, slow exhale for a count of 8. When we exhale longer than we inhale, it helps remind our body that we're safe, that everything's okay. And you can decide how long each cycle of 4-7-8 lasts. Some people like to count in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other people like to be more intuitive and say, okay, in, hold, out. So maybe experiment with both and you see what feels more relaxing, what keeps you in the present moment. And I'll be quiet as we do our 4-7-8 breath for about another minute or so. Take your time, there is no rush. Do one more round. Inhaling, holding the breath at the top, and a nice slow exhale. And then only when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can very gently blink open your eyes and come back into the space. Thanks for practicing with me today.